Good morning. It is Tuesday. Oh my gosh, the beginning of December. Today, do you know what today is? Today is Giving Tuesday, and we are so happy you are here at Business by Design Online. We're your entrepreneurial business hub to help you start a business, grow your business. Maybe you need some tips and ideas to just kind of tweak your business so that you can be more successful in the coming year. I'm Katie Sevenance, and I'm your host today. I cannot wait for you to meet my friend Sarita. We have met through some local networking events, and because today's Giving Tuesday, at Business by Design Online, our topic for the month is all about giving back and ways you can give back, ideas to help you think about how you can incorporate that in your business. We just want to spark some interest and maybe even throw out some places that you might want to contribute. So throughout the month, tune in. We'll be sharing all kinds of great ideas. Plus, we're starting a group where we are going to do even more not coaching, but even more tips and ideas that we have learned throughout the years. We want to share that with you. So you're going to be receiving all kinds of tips in our new Facebook group. We will share details on that later this week. So for now, I'd like to welcome my guest, Sarita Shoemaker. Sarita has been an entrepreneur for over a decade. She has learned how to incorporate the community into her business and grown a very successful business, and incorporating fundraising and giving back and really changing the way you think about learning how to incorporate giving into your business. Yes. Good morning, Sarita. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I love what you guys are doing. Women, everyone needs what you have to offer. Truly. There's not you can't type in, there's no place that offers all the gambit. You're really trying, and it's very cool. It's very cool. So I'm very honored to be part of it. Thank you.
Well, that's kind of our hope, is just to have education in one place instead of having to go here and here and here and here and look up different topics, but to really have the whole gambit here and be able to encourage people to take a step out on their own or get that education that it's hard to find sometimes, to know exactly what you don't know, right?
Right. You don't know. And also, you don't need to have 4 inches of text to tell you how to do something that is very simple, that many people before you have already been through the struggles and the pain. Why not? Just learn
from each other, right? I agree. Learning from each other, when we can all share and give back, we all learn, we all grow. And that's kind of why we love what we do and why we're continuing to grow. So thank you for saying that.
Oh, my
We're
pleasure.
super excited to have you on today because it's Giving Tuesday. It's like it's time. It's probably been time, but tell us a little bit about your top tip for how we can think differently, how we can think and incorporate giving back.
Well, I think the biggest concept is to imagine your community doesn't know you exist, and you need your community to come to your business. And there are people within it that need help. And there's businesses that need help promoting what they have to offer. And I think that's kind of where we started. We started with 12 people in our boot camp, outdoor fitness boot camp, and we had our savings account, and I learned some big lessons about what not to do on marketing and advertising and expensive things. We had 4 kids to feed, and we had a dream to make sure that our quality of life was going to be okay. But it happened because we were trying to help other people. That's what happened to us. Our first event was a race on New Year's Day, which, by the way, if anybody who's listening, you still have plenty of time to figure this out. And I'll help you if you need it. It's just we created a 5K race and donated all of the entry fees to the local library, because we found the fitness section of the library had books from 1980s and 90s and maybe some from the 60s, and there was only about 8 of them. So the current technology and information and knowledge about health and fitness was non-existent in the library where people go to get help.
Right.
So
Right.
I think that just, you think about, okay, that just triggered us. Okay, what can we do about this? We can't donate, excuse me, we can't donate $1,000 from our family to help, but we can maybe get our community to be involved and get behind that initiative. And it worked. And so I think our first check was like $600, and then we found out the systems, and every year we continued. And I think that's an important thing too, is you have to be consistent and reliable in whatever it is you're going to do.
I love that. That's really true. And I mean, just to think, okay, you had a business of that you and your husband started a boot camp, and I cannot wait to hear a little bit about that. You started that. That was before boot camps were a thing, and just health and fitness, and then to realize the lack of education on that particular, you want to start this business and you can't get the information, but it's important. So I love that you tied your giving into your business so that they're going together, and then you're helping educate the community at the same time on, okay, we can do this. We can do this. Yeah. How long did you run that race?
It was called the Run for Books, and we ran it for the first 9 years of our, I think,
wow,
years of doing our boot camp.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's terrible how it ended. Why it stopped being a thing is because the bureaucracy in the library, they couldn't take our money. Isn't that sad?
Really?
They had to figure their systems out. We couldn't do it. So, but we found other ways. I mean, through that 9 years, we had the Run for Books, and then in February we would have a Valentine's boot camp where we would pass Valentine's, and then also part of everybody's payment would be towards a fundraising for somebody. We had the local police department. We donated. We lost a couple officers, and we had the cadets from the police academy that were children learning how to be upstanding citizens in the world of law enforcement, I guess. But we recreated. I mean, it was always important to at least have 4 or 5 different things in our year that was a give to the community, that was not expecting back. Just don't expect back. Just give.
Right. I like that you talk about your local community too. I think that's key, because it doesn't have to be this huge worldwide thing. Start in your community and really establish that relationship with your community, and they'll help support you too. So I think that's true. What does Joyce say here? Sometimes it's hard to do good, sad but true. Yeah, we have to be smarter than the challenges, and just figuring out how to give, who to give, and the right direction to do what we want to do. Because in our hearts, our guest last week was talking about, she had this huge fundraiser, and she created a business around supporting kids in another country. And then it just fell through because not having there's a lot, it's a business, right? Sometimes that fundraising and that donating, it has to be run like a business too. So there's a whole big side to that.
Yeah, we learned that our first few times, that when you're going to run a race, you can't just like show up and charge people money and they run and then you give the money. It's a little bit more complicated. You need insurance. You're running on public property. You need permits, and you need a waiver. So you got to get legal. I mean, these little details shared with, in the community. Also, there were other businesses that wanted to do activities like this. We shared everything we had. I remember hours on the phone teaching schools, because they wanted to do events, teaching them how to navigate and miss the parts that hurt us, that were painful, the pain points, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. Wow. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you and your husband started your boot camp.
Oh, It was so exciting. Well, first of all, he was my boyfriend at the time,
Oh,
and none of our clients knew we were dating, so it was important. We had signed up to open a boot camp with a franchise, and from there, we decided franchising wasn't the thing for us. It was at the beginning of when outdoor boot camp, this was in California, by the way, in Southern California, where there isn't a bad weather day, bad weather day. There's no excuse to not get outside. But the thing that drove us was our mothers. Both of my, now Randy is my husband, but both of our mothers had cancer, and brain cancer and breast cancer, and they were really suffering. And a lot of what we went through to, it's just the health and nutrition and the quality of life was, it was very, I don't know, in my heart, it was hard to see, as the daughter of my mom. And my mom didn't get a lot of time to take care of herself. So we just decided, let's just quit our jobs. I was the general manager of a software company, and I was making plenty of money and doing great. And my husband was doing amazing. Well, my boyfriend at the time, doing amazing, he was in flooring and doing great. And he had he had made his targets and goals so he could step out, and we both just decided to leap into it. And my mother always wanted me to be an entrepreneur. She knew I had the grit. She knew that I would be okay if I did it. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that really is kind of what pushed us. So our goal for our business was to get other people to understand how they can take care of their lives and make their quality of life better in the future by learning how to love outdoor fitness and nutrition.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I mean, what a great goal, really helping people from the beginning and in lots of different ways too. So I love that. Yeah. And you had your business for 10 years?
For 13 years.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
We started because we had our athletic backgrounds, both of us. We had played sports and we loved being outside. But then when work in the corporate America, it's like, when can you make it to the gym? That you had to squeeze time in, So we went and got our certifications for personal training and group fitness, and we started learning all about our bodies. And that just inspired us more that, oh my gosh, there's so much we didn't know that now we can even be stronger in helping people. So it turned into a business.
That's awesome. And now you're married, which it must have been a good business, a good way to grow. I love that. I love that. So you're very passionate about helping people be aware of their health and get out there and exercise. Yes. And you live in a beautiful place now in Colorado Springs. So we were just talking about how awesome it is to be able to go outside whenever you want, pretty much.
Yeah. When we were in the town we were in, it was a small town. A lot of our clients, we went from 12 people, our first boot camp. And by the time we were finished with our program and we decided to close the doors, we had touched over 3,000 people through all of our events, direct contact, speaking to. We have so many friends across the globe. But one thing that we discovered was that a lot of people lived in this town had not actually gone out into the mountains and explored the mountains. And I understood as a woman, that's scary. I didn't want to go. I would never have gone out there had I not gone out with a group of people, safety in numbers,
Right.
And started trail running and trail hiking. And then, so you never know. You just never know. But a lot of people probably live here and look at these mountains and they just don't have time to get up into the mountains, and they want to. It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is worth it. We still have to get our date together to go do that too.
I'm making my plan.
So let's talk about some tips for if somebody is thinking, maybe they have their own business and they're thinking about, I want to start something. I want to find a way to incorporate fundraising or giving back in my local community. Do you have some tips that you'd like to share with us today?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do. After our conversation, I was so inspired to create, I did make a list eventually, but Fundraising is a big thing, and somebody in your community some initiatives, there's somebody who needs help, and you just, unless you're talking to the people in the community, it's hard to know, or you ask for people to share something that they're suffering from. We had a few people that we knew that had cancer, and they were single women. I know, I can remember one particular woman. She was battling it on her own. So that was a way to create. So we charged for the race. We got the permits. We did all of that business. And then a portion of what we earned went back to her to help her. I mean, now, so she didn't have a 401c3. I don't even remember what that's called.
Yeah, 501(c)(3). Anyway.
501, but yeah. Whatever. That was never. We did not care if they went through that.
You just wanted to give back to help her.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
On a side note, we have and we created our own. Well, we started to, but it was so much of a hassle to try to create a 501(c)(3) for our daughter when our daughter passed away. And we were going to create this to help other kids. The amount of work and ridiculous stuff that you have to do to have something as simple as, we just wanted to do this to honor our daughter. My husband said, you know what? This is not this isn't helping me feel better about Amanda. This is dumb. And there are other people that have the same thing. They just need a hand up. They just need a little help. 501(c)(3). Thank you, Joy.
Yeah. I know there's some numbers in there.
But anyway, so creating a fundraiser and not having not being stuck to that it has to be a tax write-off. Like, forget that. Just don't do that.
Give.
Yeah. Just give. Just find somebody that needs help. And this is where we started rallying our clients to contribute and help. We also have had clients that hit hard times. So here we are in the business of outdoor fitness boot camp, and we know that it's helping their heart and soul. But not everybody can afford to do what we were offering, can pay for it. So some clients would add a little extra, $5 or $10 onto their payment. And that would then, we created a fund, and every single boot camp, we would be able to give somebody a huge discount on the to come back to boot camp. That was really thought of by our clients. I didn't create that. Somebody else created that. That's really
cool. Yeah, but so they're seeing the need, the value, they see that value, and they're offering that to help other people as well within your own community. I love that.
Our own community. Yeah. Yeah. We ran the streets and parks, and we were out in the community a lot. I'm certain the crime in that department in that section was very low because we were just always out there every day, 3 times a day, running around the planet. So another thing you can do is, if you have any sort of newsletter or method of communicating to your clients, offer up some space for free to your local initiatives. People that need some help, some marketing and promotion, because they don't have big budgets to talk about what they need other people to know about. And if you've ever used Facebook, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's confusing to pay for an ad if you don't know if it works, all that, but you can offer it if you have it. Doesn't just stick something else on your newsletter. And then if you have clients, you can give back to your business community. We had clients that had their own businesses. Most everybody did, or they worked for somebody. And we offered very low, like $20 for a spot in our newsletter. And our newsletter was consistent every single week, or at least once a month. For sure, every week we would dedicate to communicating on an opt-in, not a broad spam. It was an opt-in quality newsletter list.
That's
And
awesome. I love that idea. And I think, I mean, shoot, I've been doing a newsletter to my community for 20 years, and I've never thought about doing something like that myself. And light bulb moment, that's an easy thing to do for someone who just wants to reach out, especially if you're similar market base, right? If you're, so being able to not only offer it to other businesses, but offer it to your community who could use some additional income promoting maybe their business that, they need help supporting, whatever that is, whatever you're passionate about that aligns with your company values.
that was a huge thing. Like we, at the time, we had some standards we wouldn't have be part of our newsletter because it just conflicted with our purpose. So it had to be.
Well, you wouldn't be promoting a hamburger restaurant or something.
No, nope. And tequila night, nope.
Even though it does sort of align, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's like,
it's so funny.
Really think about that.
Like our most fun parties, we'd have a party once every 6 weeks to celebrate. We had a graduation, and they were the most fun, blasted fun parties. And we had alcohol. We had the dessert table for people on a diet and trying to change their health. The dessert table was bigger than any table, and it was delicious, and we all enjoyed it, and then got back to work the next week. But anyways,
well, you got to celebrate those small things too, and that's awesome. What a great idea to do. That makes me think of even just incorporating, people in things like that, like do a celebration every quarter and invite small businesses to support if they align with your values. That's a great way to bring the community in and work together. And what's that word that starts with a C that I can't think of? But anyway, collaborate. That big word of the year. Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. I love that. The newsletter one's really standing out to me. My mind is going, right, Joy? All right. So what other ideas do you have for us today?
Speaking at events without expecting a paycheck. Now you have some expertise. Ours was health and fitness. We also were part of it's called Abundant Harvest, an organic initiative. So I would speak at the schools, at the Rotary. These places need help. We had President's Physical Fitness. We volunteered at every single event we could time-wise be at for the kids. So we started helping the parents. And, the parents struggle to try to get their kids to eat healthy. They want them to, but they just didn't understand. Like I remember holding up pieces of fruit or a piece of vegetable, and the kids didn't know what it was. And it was one of the basics, like an apple or an orange or a pear, because they hadn't ever seen it in its form like that. They didn't go to the grocery store. We realized,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like they didn't know. So that was very passionate. And whatever your business is, you are passionate about it. And you might need to explain it to somebody else for them to, kind of dumb it down so they understand. You already get it, but maybe somebody else doesn't. So volunteering, I did cooking classes at the Rotary. That was exciting. They're all drinking and I'm cooking. It was great.
That's fun though. But yes, finding ways outside the box to be able to donate your time or your knowledge to give back to causes in your community that really speak to you. I like that. Yeah, that's really cool. And it helps both ways, right? It helps them, but it also gets your name out there too in different ways. And but I like the fact of just giving. And this is the time when our hearts, it's like, I don't know, for me, like we were talking about the history of Giving Tuesday, and you've got your Black Friday of like you're shopping like crazy, and then Saturday is shop small, shop local. That's a newer one. Then you have Sunday, like we said, just go take a hike, go chill, get out the Christmas boxes, whatever that is. And then Monday is like, oh my gosh, you get panic, like I have to be online. And you were talking about your past history and a software company and knowing, oh my gosh, no one's working. They're all shopping online. So you have your Cyber Monday and then yeah. And then it's like, okay, now it's Giving Tuesday and turning outward and thinking, how can we help in the community? I was just looking, it says Giving Tuesday started in 2012.
No. Oh,
No.
Giving Tuesday. Sorry.
Yeah.
My brain was back at the Monday, the Cyber Monday, just the being mad at all my employees for shopping instead of working.
Yeah, that. This says since Giving Tuesday's launch in 2012, nonprofits all over the US and eventually all over the world have hosted fundraisers and events using the branding and hashtags associated with the movement. It's pretty awesome how with social media, an idea just blossomed, and being able to then incorporate that and helping people to really look at who are they supporting, what are they doing, how can they give back. So it can be as small as shopping with someone who gives a percentage of their sales somewhere, or just finding an organization that appeals to you and just giving time, money, whatever.
And you have to really think about and have courage to go talk to the people in your community. Just take a radius of like a mile or two from your business and just start open your eyes and look what's out there. You just don't realize what's out there. And then you can go introduce yourself, even just to say hello. You'll find out people that need help. You'll find out.
Well, in the community, the food banks and we used to volunteer all the time doing once a month at our community food bank in Washington State. And we brought our kids and they learned from the time they were young. And there are small things you can do that can make such a huge impact. And you never know the kind of impact until, you never know what impact you left with someone. And to hear how you made a difference is something that doesn't always happen, but it is there. And I think it's awesome that you used your business and really were able to help your community. I love the idea of the runs. I mean, once you learn the steps and like you said, there are things you need to do so that you can guide people, because you don't get taught how to set up a fundraiser. It's not a class you can learn easily, but there are tips and tools out there to help you figure out the best way of doing it so you don't get dinged for who knows what.
It actually has a positive effect, because when you go into the city hall and get your permit and you get your insurance and you take care of all the T's and C's that follow the rules of the land wherever you are, you get respect from the government, the local government. And that's something that we didn't, that was a little extra bonus for us, is we were respected by our government officials. They knew who we were. Because we were we were helping. We weren't reversing, we weren't well, we were helping and following the rules, which weren't that hard, but we just didn't know what they were.
Right.
So you just become, you turn yourself into something positive for the government. And so the local government appreciates it. They're working hard.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And I mean, as an entrepreneur, we have all kinds of creative ideas. So putting them to work in many different ways is beneficial. I love that. Sarita, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate it. And you have done so many great things out there. I know you'll continue to do that. And maybe you can help guide us on some ideas that we can do locally as well. That would be awesome. Since our grand opening launch is scheduled for next month. This is December. January is our grand opening announcements, all that good stuff. We put a year in developing this company, and we're super excited. So I'll make sure that I share the information on our new group with Business by Design Online called, let's see if I can get it right. BYOB, Design Your Own Business.
Oh, that's
fun. I know. So anyway, we'll get that out there. But Sarita, thank you. And I'm so glad you're part of our community. And I look forward to going for a little hike with you soon and get out there and enjoy and take care of ourselves in this wonderful year of 2020, right?
Yes. Hey, we're all doing better if we think about the things that that we've learned,
No kidding.
we all have somewhere in our life we've improved something because we're still here.
Definitely.
We made it.
We are resilient, and we are learning how much we can count on ourselves and other people. There are some great things that we've all learned from this experience. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to maybe pick your brain about ideas on maybe starting some fundraising in their own community? Is there a website? Do you have an email, Facebook? What would be the best way?
Well, I'm on Facebook. My name is Sashu, and if you reach out to me, I'll tell you why. But you can reach me by email is Sarita Shoemaker, just like it sounds, at gmail.com. And you can text me or call me at 719-400-8622.
Awesome.
And I will respond to you as soon as I can. Thank you, Business by Design Online.
I'm typing as fast as I can.
Like, put your hands up and you're still typing. It's incredible.
It takes a while for it to show, but yes. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. I really appreciate it. I look forward to us connecting again soon.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.